All right, so I didn't expect to be back here so soon. Um, I've got some issues. I don't know exactly what one of the issues is. I just assume it's a hardware issue or software issue, but I tried checking the hardware to make sure everything was still connected. No luck. Um, the back buttons, that's my issue. Uh, well, it's my current issue outside of the fact that my Bluetooth menu is just gone, but I think that's just something with the plugin. That's another issue for another time. I have removed this backplate now, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 times trying to find buttons that work. Not don't suck, but that just work. And currently, one press. One press. So, sorry. They don't register unless my finger happens to sticky pull the thing up. This side still does. This side's got nothing. And even when holding it like this, it doesn't come down. It's gravity that's pulling it down. I've tried a couple different things. I have tried removing some tension on the screws in the back here. So removing a little bit of tension on these screws here will make them work a little bit better. It's just so inconsistent. So you can't really see it from here. God, this angle is so confusing. You know what? We're gonna go here. We're gonna change things up a little bit here. I'm going to make this one bigger. It's fine. All right. So here, it's not flush, and it's because of the fact that this here takes up so much space and thickness. I don't know if you can even see it from here, but it makes it so thick that the screws barely hold it together. So over here, which you might be able to see, there's a little bit of space. There you go. But over here, I can do this, it's mostly flush. And here is the side that has this pad here. So this is just pushing this up, pushing all this plastic up, making the buttons not make good contact. Or sorry, making the buttons push away so they make fine contact. But these two over here, they needed to be more different one side to the other, and they're not. The other buttons that I had in before, so I've tried all of the ones that they've sent. I'm going to scroll this back down. The other buttons that they sent, right, finger condoms. I tried out the big ones first, and those are the ones that I showed in the video, and I had the issues with the clearance on the back case. So I ended up swapping them out. I'm thinking, luckily, nothing of it. That's one case swap. I swapped them out to the second smallest size, which is these ones here that are they're just a little bit shorter. Oh, of course, there's a black background there now. A little bit shorter, and the opening is coming from the other direction as opposed to. Here we go. Let's try to get this in frame. But yeah, the opening's coming from the other direction. So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, they're a little lower. They're opening in an opposite direction because these are, what is this? They're supposed to go this way, right? So they're different. They're a little smaller. They're noisy. They're very noisy. So, you know, of course, the point of this thing is to play in bed so I don't wake up my fiance, but I could still, you know, play this thing. But now it's making horrible noises. And I'm also noticing I'm missing inputs all of a sudden, which I wasn't having an issue with before. So then I swapped back to the ones that they sent, the final set that they sent, which was the original flush ones, which I just showed you guys. And they're either constantly depressed or too loose to have tension on specifically the left side. So the right side is fine. The left side, the side without the extra pressure on the back here, without pushing this up, giving it, you know, more of that lip here, I'm getting missed inputs. I'm getting like just, yeah, it's of course not causing as many issues right now when I'm trying to show people, but it's really frustrating. So I've now pulled the case off. Once the back off, let's see. Once to do the thermal pad, once to do the purple back pad, once in between there because I realized I messed up on my testing. Once for the swapping from the big buttons to the second biggest buttons, once for the swapping from the second biggest buttons to the flat buttons. That's 5 swaps already where these screws that are tapped into plastic have been removed and replaced, and they're slowly stripping, and it's becoming a worse situation. So there's those times, and I think I had 4 or 5 more times when trying to do the I didn't show a video of this. I don't think I recorded it. But when I did my SSD swap, I had to go in there a couple of times because I had some issues with the OS, but I fixed them. Really weird way that I fixed them. I used Macrium and did a clone, which shouldn't have worked, but it did. I also used the Steam cloning option. It's complicated. It was a long process. I don't fully remember the exact process. But that being said, this thing has now been opened, and the clips and where the clips retain around the outside of this whole thing, the screws, the holes in the thing, they're all weakening more and more and more. And I'm getting frustrated because the buttons just don't work now. Okay. Last thing that I have to try, because this is just not working for me. I mean, like, I guess I have a couple different ways to try this, but the last things that I'm going to try are going to be swapping to the original backplate's buttons. So the ones that they sent with, but I don't think that's going to make... I don't think it's going to fix anything. But yeah, the original valve buttons, who knows? Maybe they'll do the trick. Oh, I don't even know if I can. They look like these are stamped in. Yeah, these don't come out. Okay, so I can't do that option. So I guess the second and final option is go back to the ones that are too loud, that are in the middle, that actually fit with my grip case. Because, yeah, that give me missed inputs. So the thing is okay, so with these buttons, and I'm probably not going to even record this, I'm just going to rant because this is going to take too damn long. I'm already almost at 10 minutes. The buttons here, because of how they're designed, there's more give here than I think that they intended. So you'll press enough to get a normal input, but it won't necessarily put enough pressure on the button itself that's underneath these, where this little cross presses. There it goes. You can see it there. There's not enough pressure, and it'll often, just the little springy pressure here won't be enough to press the button. So I'll get missed inputs. My point is... Oof, of course I dropped it. The point is, it looks nice, it performs better, but I can't fucking use it. Because I use the back buttons. I'm that guy. You know, I've got bad hands. My camera's all blurry. Of course it's all blurry. Whatever, I'm not recording this again. It's already been 10 minutes of me ranting about this. Okay, fine. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. One last swap. What could it hurt? Besides, oh, micro SD card. Don't forget. I'm gonna see if I can fix that zoom issue in just a second. What the hell is that on my hand? Is that thermal paste? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm over it. All right, next thing. Next thing. But yeah, this has been like a lot of fun messing with this and learning by doing and whatnot. God damn it. And it's pretty, and I think it, it's worth messing with. But the thermal pad that they put on the back of this case, this chunk right here, it's too damn thick. And it's like quarter of a mil, half a mil. It's not off by much, but it's off by enough to make an issue. Either that or the quality control is worse than I thought it was. Like I have had my ups and downs with this company, which I do not work with or for or have any affiliation with whatsoever. I just, I've enjoyed a lot of their products. This one looks great, feels great. It's like a 9.9 out of 10. If I didn't have these issues with these buttons, I would it would be an easy 10 out of 10 because it looks great and it performs better. I'm genuinely surprised at how well this works. But those freaking buttons. I probably should have been doing all of this while I was disassembling. Oh well, we're here now. And it is a shame because, like I said, it's really pretty and it works most of the time. Now I'm wondering, yeah, this doesn't feel right either though. So like I said, again, I'm going to zoom in for this. Whoa, too big. I forgot I shrunk my camera down. Okay, so this here, it's like almost flush, at least on this button. And then these ones have a big raised bump. And it might not feel or look that big on the camera, but it feels huge. There's some better lighting there. Okay, you can maybe see it there. That feels huge compared to this. And it feels just super lopsided. You can see it here. This one looks like flat. Anyway, I've been doing this for like 4 hours today. And I did this yesterday. I spent more time fucking with this thing, trying to get it to work. And today wasn't just the buttons. I was also trying to get the Bluetooth working. But I've spent more time today trying to get this thing to work than gaming. And I could have been gaming. And this is just like, it's such a niche issue. Steam has nothing to do with it. All of the issues I'm having are my own damn fault. I wanted to mess with the beta build. I wanted to mess with X, Y, and Z things, different plugins. I've been messing with a lot of things. The fact that my Bluetooth option in the menu is just gone, my own fault. I'm sure I can fix it. I'm not worried about it. I don't really use it. I've got headphones that just plug in. You can do that on this kind of tech. Okay. Yeah, and so then also while I was in here, I need to work on that angle here. Hold on. Can I just move this? Aha, I can. Okay. That'll make things a little easier on me. Okay, so while I was in here, I was checking to see the connections underneath this pad to make sure that I didn't do something funky with any of this stuff while I was going in and doing all of this. I made sure the heatsink was pressed down. I made sure that the other end of the heatsink that touches the CPU was pressed down. I don't think anything physically was damaged about the Bluetooth. I checked the buttons. This is where the buttons actually go through and press the little plus signs that I was just talking about, which I've hidden behind this platform. So yeah, these little pluses, they'll basically be on the other side, and of course this is the wrong side. Whatever, you get the point. Or is this the right side? This is the right side. Screw it. But the plus presses down right there, right? So buttons work, buttons work, buttons work, buttons work. They feel fine. They all feel the same. It's just, it's so close to being done and so close to being what I would consider to be perfect. But it's just, there's always one thing. There's always something. Ugh, I'm tired. It's Easter Sunday, and I've spent half of the day troubleshooting hardware. And I can't even be mad, you know. It's my own fault for, well, for trusting companies, but yeah, it's my own fault. I know, I'm kind of feeling bad about not talking, because, you know, I got to keep this interesting. Oh, crap. But I'm just so fucking mentally exhausted at this point. I just want it to be over. The annoying thing about this whole JSAUX, whatever situation is that the company did something that I'm not very happy with, allegedly, to a much bigger creator than myself. And then basically as like a follow-up to that, or I guess around the same time, I was trying to get an exchange, do a return on, I don't even know if I should, whatever. I was trying to do an exchange or a return because I bought the original clear backplate that they had sold, the brown one, before they had put up the poll for the purple or the red or whatever the heck they're calling the green one, and all of this stuff. I had purchased the brown one like the moment it was available. And then a couple of, I guess it was like weeks, maybe not even a whole couple of weeks. But soon after, they were like, oh, hey, yeah, no, we're actually doing these purple ones. And, you know, these other colors. And, you know, we're not just doing the ones that were in the poll, but we're going to do all of them. So I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, that's really cool. You know, my other one, there it is, hasn't shown up yet. Maybe I can just get a cancellation or something and then, you know, move forward with it and, you know, just end up getting just the new one. And it isn't that simple. Should have been that simple. It isn't that simple. So I have a whole nother one, technically, of just like this. I don't even know what color to call this. I'm not even sure. I didn't even open it. I thought I was going to be able to just return it unopened. But yeah, I basically had to pay for a whole second one because they couldn't just cancel one order. And then, luckily, they did compensate somewhat. I got a I think it was a $10 discount on this purple one. Just like, it's not nothing. Don't get me wrong, it's not nothing. I'm grateful for the acknowledging that this is something that shouldn't have happened this way. But it's frustrating. I have a JSAUX charger. I have a JSAUX dock. I have a JSAUX grip. I have, oh God, what do I have? I have their JSAUX, whatever it is, 10-foot, 15-foot right angle terminating cable. I've got 2 of these back plates now. Oh, I had bought one of their cases at one point. The case that fits the whole Steam Deck in it as well. It didn't quite fit my needs. It was a little bit more bulky than I thought it was going to be. It basically just took it from having that little battery pack thing that I removed at the beginning, here it is. Basically takes this from being on the outside and puts it on the inside. It doesn't really give you more space. Yeah, and then the flap on the inside that they had to be used as a stand just not only was redundant, because part of the reason why I have this thing in the first place is because it has a pretty decent kickstand on it, just built in. It works, it does the trick. Also, it's a little bit bigger. I've got big hands. What can I say? But yeah, it solved a couple of problems for me. It still fits in the original case. This was doing the trick for me. I wanted to try the other case. I think I bought that through Amazon, which is why I was able to just get a refund. Would have re-gifted it. Problem is, not a lot of people have Steam Decks down here. And also, I'm, not made of money. Yeah, tangent. Sorry. I bought a lot of their products. I like a lot of their products. But there are just a couple of places where I have some issues. One of which is the being able to cancel, and I know they're not as big as Amazon, nobody is, but being able to cancel and, send a different product, it shouldn't be like, oh, sorry, we can't do that. Would you take, $10 of store credit instead? Like I said, I'm grateful they did something. That shouldn't have been a problem. That shouldn't have been a pain. It shouldn't have been an issue in the first place. Whatever. Like I said, that the case was just, there's something about the quality of the case itself that just didn't quite feel right. Sorry, I'm just giving it a real feel. I'm realizing there might just be mild manufacturing defect. I don't know. It looks perfect. That's the most annoying and frustrating part, is it looks, minus this weird L-shaped smear that I'm seeing in here. It looks perfect. Fits great. There's no sharp edges. Closes all the way. If there's a little bit of give, I don't really care. But yeah, I don't know. It's so close. And then changing subjects here just a little bit. I ended up buying a device that allows you to connect to HDMI and USB-C power via one cable. And it's a really cool device. And I thought that it was going to do something it didn't do. I'm actually surprised that closed up clean right there. This might actually be just my final time opening this. But yeah, so the cable that I bought, not from JSAUX, is it this one? Yes. So this cable, which you can't even see from, what brand is this? Does it even say? Would have been smart to brand that. I'm glad they didn't. Would have been smart. Whatever brand this is, it works. I get 4K 60 out of the thing, which is awesome. I mean, obviously not out of the Steam Deck necessarily, but through the cable. I can put my phone through it or something like that. And it just kind of works. Um, but I was trying. Oh, oh, come on. Don't be like this. There we go. I was trying to run it through my M Classic here to do some upscaling of the Steam Deck content onto, 4K TV or 1440p monitor, something, anything. I tried a 1440p monitor, no luck. I tried a 4K TV, no luck. I tried a bunch of different options with the, you know what, before I put this other screw in, I'm going to test this. But I tried a bunch of different options. And nothing quite did the trick. Nothing quite got the M Classic to work. I know it works. I've used it on my Switch for years now. I was an early backer of the M Classic. Love that thing, by the way. Would not work. And I'm wondering if it has something to do with the fact that, USB-C is USB-C to DisplayPort. Maybe it has something to do with that, and it's just not registering properly. But then again, my splitter recognizes it. My splitter's a pain in the ass, so I don't know. Screw it. Doom Eternal, let's do it. All right, SD card, come on. Okay. Do not let me open this up with this in it. This is your job now. Oh, come on. Come on. Is it in? That's what she said? Haha, okay. Oh, yeah, so since we're here, by the way, I'm not plugging it into the thing. You're gonna get this experience. So go over here, go to settings, display audio. Okay. Display audio. Next in the list should be Bluetooth. It's not. It's controller. It just skips Bluetooth entirely. I looked in desktop mode. There's no evidence of it. It says that there is no Bluetooth on the system. It is what it is. I can make it work. I'm upset because I can't use controllers with this. I even tried using the controller plugin and the Bluetooth plugin, and I did them after, not during. I'm talking way too much. My God, I'm already been talking for 30 minutes, 27 minutes. Yeah, I don't know why, but the Bluetooth just will not show up. So it is what it is. I'm probably going to do a cut down version of all of this eventually. But, I mean, the whole experience, the real experience, like, I don't know, there's something about it, if you ask me. There's something about, like, being there with somebody while they're struggling through something that shouldn't be fucking hard. I forgot how long this intro is. I really hope the mic isn't too loud. I did put it closer, as I'm sure you can see. Definitely losing my voice a little. I'm going to turn the volume down just in case. Let's see if I have any missed inputs, which I did the other day. It sounds better, though. And it feels better. All right. So let's see. We got. Oh, yeah, right. Because that's a thing. Since I have you here, I have one other gripe about these back buttons. Since they are raised up the way that they are, I'm trying to frame this. My God, this is mental gymnastics. The end of the button, so with the middle finger, it touches the R5, L5 buttons. I don't know how to explain it other than it touches. And it sits in kind of an uncomfortable spot because of the fact that it's raised up. Because of the fact that it's raised up, it presses into the fingers in a weird way. I really can't show it. I'm really trying here. I can't. My hands are in the way. But it presses into the fingers in a really strange way. I feel like I can get used to it. It's mostly fine. Yeah, it's such a long travel. Yeah, there's that much movement and no trigger. No, there it goes. You shouldn't be able to make that much movement. There it goes. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure to not be getting an input. Yeah, so what that's a problem for is, like, for me, for example, I play Destiny, not on here because it's, Linux. I'm not putting Windows on this thing. That's just one more. Maybe if I get a second one. But I was playing Nier, and I was noticing that during the combat, which is all X and Y, which is what I have these set to, I was missing like every third or so input, and it was legitimately messing me up. Since we're in here, let's look at the performance. 60 FPS, fan is at 3500, which is really low. I'm getting almost 1600 megahertz on the GPU. Come on. Why you gotta be like this? There we go. I'm getting 1600 megahertz on the GPU. The CPU is flying at 2000 or so. And I think I had mentioned this before. Like, I can set this to 70. But yeah, it's flying right now. This GPU is at 74, 73, 74, up to 75. CPU 78, and it's running. It was running at 1400 megahertz before, and it was getting up to 85, 86C. Right now, it's running at 2000 megahertz, and it's hitting 78. So, like, I mean, this it does make a difference. That's the most fucking annoying part. Is it does do something, and it works really well. Yeah, the GPU is at 1600, and it's at 76 right now. Yeah, let's just do the thing. Why not? Setting the refresh rate limit. Well, whatever. Refresh rate 70. 66, 73, 70. Yeah, I mean, this is still at ultra. It's hitting between 60 and 70. I love it. It's great. Mostly at 70, just dips to 60. 71. 61. Yeah. But, like, it'll do 70, which is awesome. It's still, like, barely stressing. Setting it back to 60. But yeah, the buttons, the back buttons, it feels like an afterthought. That's all I can say. I'm not going to record anymore. I've already been here for way too long. This is also really hot. I'm putting my grip back on. Yeah, it's actually kind of insane how hot that is. This does protect it somewhat. Actually, quite a bit. Let's see how bad the temps get. But yeah, I'm not going to... Oh, you know what? I gotta put the screws back on. I'm done. I know the temps get worse when this goes on. I've already been here for 35 minutes. You get my point. You see my problem. Buyer beware.